Hello, and welcome to the Biomass Magazine podcast. I'm your host, Anna Simet. Thanks for tuning in. Today on the line, I have Mr. Bruce Bruso, President and founder of CBA Environmental Services, which is now in its 26th year. A little bit about Bruce. He has 33 years of experience in providing engineering, project management, and construction restoration services, along with management and administrative experience in environmental and energy infrastructure projects, solid waste management, recycling, and remediation. And relevant to our conversation today, he has developed Remedial Biomass Solutions Technology, or RBS, which is a proprietary pre-combustion carbon capture, utilization, and sequestration technology that's aimed at lowering operational costs, increasing sustainability, and reducing carbon emissions for the biomass industry. Bruce, welcome to the podcast. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning, Anna. Thank you. Pleasure.
So let's just jump right into things. Could you tell our listeners a little bit about RBSX plus U? What is it and how does it work?
Sure. RBS is it's a revolutionary chemical thermal BECS plus utilization drop-in technology that can be immediately fitted to an existing pellet plant, chip plant, or building products production line that will generate increased throughput anywhere from 25% to 50%, and produce incremental tons while staying under air permit discharge limits, while also increasing efficiency, reducing electrical demand on the entire operation, reducing the evaporative load on drying systems, no matter what type of dryer island is in the system. And of course, reduction of CO2 emissions by up to 50%, also resulting in increases in calorific value, durability, and reduction of fines in final products. The RBS is designed to significantly increase revenue for biomass and forestry product producers while significantly reducing cost of operation.
So what are the applicable biomass industry verticals or applications where RBS can provide added value?
So, Anna, we think of the biomass industry as four main verticals. Those four being pellet production, both industrial and residential, power generation, pulp and paper, and building construction materials. So the RBS technology adds three key value add packages to all of those biomass industry verticals. They tend to include plant optimization as number one, which can involve increased throughput, higher gains in efficiency, reduced electrical demand on complete operations, and reduced emission control costs and loading rates. And the second value add is product enhancement, higher calorific values, higher durability and strength characteristics, reduction in fines, elimination of spontaneous combustion risks, and devolatilization and decarbonization of the products, providing a cleaner burning and hotter burning product, along with ease of transportation and handling issues. And the third value add package is environmental and sustainability. The RBS technology is a bioenergy carbon capture and utilization process. It's also an approved industrial process under the current IRS 45Q carbon capture utilization and sequestration tax code. This allows RBS users and partners to realize additional revenue over a 12-year period as a financial reward for reducing the life cycle analysis of inherent CO2 and CO2 equivalent compounds that exist in biomass and forestry products. Additionally, pollutants of concern like formaldehyde, volatiles, semi-volatiles, and the ever-present PFAS and PFOS forever chemicals are also eliminated from biomass and forestry end-use products. So those three value-add packages, we are able to apply to all four of those biomass industry verticals.
Interesting. So, Bruce, what are the benefits realized by the end user?
So first and foremost, lower cost of production, no matter what the biomass product is that the user is producing, increased revenues and increased throughput, which pretty much equal each other, while staying under existing air permitting limits. I'll give you an example. A pellet plant, and for that matter, pretty much every pellet plant in North America, whether it's industrial pellets or home heating pellets, is generally limited on throughput and production based on their air permit. And so imagine if the cost of production could be reduced and throughput be increased with little to no capital investment. And this is a tremendous advantage to the end user.
Okay, so let's talk proof of concept. How much development, vetting, and application effort has been applied to RBS?
So the RBS process began its commercial trek about 2 years ago, and it is a carry forward of a precursor technology developed by our company, which was designed to originally devolatilize and increase calorific value of other solid fossil fuels. And so through its cycle of development to date, the RBS technology has been vetted and tested by the Electric Power Research Institute, which is the gold star standard for power utilities in the United States and abroad. It's also been tested and thoroughly vetted by the Environmental Energy and Research Center at the University of North Dakota. It's been vetted substantially by the USDA, and we partnered with a pellet producer 2 years ago on a USDA grant program designed to demonstrate the increase in efficiency of the production of pellets, while also demonstrating a reduction of 46% in the CO2 output of that final product compared to its original product. And finally, very recently, more along the lines of the pulp and paper industry, the technology has also going into markets where we are taking forestry residual paper waste that is a common disposal liability for the pulp and paper industry, and we have transformed it or upcycled it into high-density, high-performing bio-derived polymers made 100% from forestry waste materials from the pulp and paper industry. So there's been a significant amount of vetting and testing, and one other component to add to that, here at our corporate campus in Pennsylvania, we have conducted to date probably at least a dozen independent pilot studies. We maintain commercial equipment here, an entire operating system of the remedial biomass solutions process right here at our corporate campus. We frequently invite stakeholders and prospective customers, regulators, suppliers, forestry companies from all over the country to come in here to our facility. We'll take their green material and convert it into their product right in front of their very eyes, and they get to, kick the tires, see the equipment operate, have access to all the data, and they can see a pre-combustion BECCS unit operating right before their eyes.
That's really cool. So, Bruce, my final question is, how do you work with prospective customers to utilize the RBS, and what are the general costs?
So, Anna, we'll work in either of two capacities. We will either license the technology to an end user, or we will partner with them as a stakeholder in some form of equity participation so that we have skin in the game. And we will provide a comprehensive financial pro forma for customers to show them all the operating costs, the CapEx costs, And at the end, the implementation of RBS ends up being a zero cost to the customer with a positive increased cash flow. And a big part of that is the two big components that allow it to be a positive cash flow to stakeholders are the increases in efficiency and throughput, as well as the availability of the carbon capture and sequestration utilization tax credit. So it's a great way for producers of forestry and biomass products to offset other additional operating costs and end up increasing their revenue and throughput at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Well, Bruce, it's about time to wrap. Before we do, is there anything else that you'd like to add that we haven't covered?
I'd just like to mention that, again, we frequently do commercial pilot tests here at our corporate campus, and we're always excited to have people attend or have their material tested here. We're currently getting ready to, in the next 2 weeks, undertake a project where we are going to be demonstrating our ability to produce a torrefied wood chip in a process flow, continuous flow scenario. And we're able to produce a torrefied chip without the use of pyrolysis and all of the troublesome headaches that come with, torrefied products, the toxic tars and oils and things of that nature. And the industry has struggled a bit in scale up of torrefied products, both here in Europe and here in the United States. And we're very excited about this opportunity, and we're looking forward to sharing it with all the folks at Biomass Magazine.
Well, we sure look forward to hearing more about it. Really interesting stuff. Thank you so much for being so thorough and for coming onto the podcast and telling our listeners more about RBS.
Thank you so much, Anna. It was a great pleasure. We look forward to future opportunities.
You bet. And to our listeners, I hope you found value in this episode, and I welcome you to reach out to Bruce with any questions about RBS. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time.